Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the next 3 months, quarter 4 of 2022. We're going to jump right in here, Libra. Libra, I have a feeling of like needing to just, be really kind to yourself in general. This whole entire deck's upside down again. So whatever. But I feel like this need to really take care of yourself this quarter. I don't think this is like a bad or a good thing. I think it just... I feel this energy of maybe overwhelm, or I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I almost feel like I should be doing something that I'm not doing, but, I kind of almost feel that these are pressures that you could be putting on yourself, but it actually looks like a pretty good reading. Look, you have the Empress showing up here, Ace of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands, you have 2 aces, Ace of Cups as well, so, I actually feel this could be pretty positive, but... I haven't been talking about the rows because I've been running my mouth about some, whatever else is going on in your life. But in your first row is going to be general energies. Then we're going to look at anything unexpected in this row. We're going to look at what's coming to light or what you need to pay attention to in this row. And this last row is going to be the good stuff. So it doesn't matter what shows up here. It's going to be positive no matter what. We're also going to pull 5 main themes for the next 5 months or 3 months, and we're also going to pull 3 yes or no question cards. So you start off with this community card. I feel your community could be very important to you or very helpful, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed. You have the 8 of Wands, and the 8 of Wands is definitely a community card. It is my card of socializing. It's my card of social media as well. So if you're like building a community, this could be very important. But I really feel... I feel the need for a break, Libra. I thought about starting your video at about, 9 o'clock this morning, and it is 11:48. So last time I tried to do your video, for some reason, I also didn't get started until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And so I'm not blaming you for this, but I'm just wondering if there's some sort of blockage. And again, I feel like it's like... the thing that is preventing me from getting into your reading, right? And I don't think this is going to affect the reading. I feel this is kind of like maybe a little bit of an energy that you're dealing with. It's almost like I'm thinking that I should be doing things, right? Or that things should be done a certain way. And maybe that kind of thinking could be holding you back. And there's something here about maybe your community kind of helping free you up from that thinking. Or there could just be a person or people in your life who kind of help you gain a new perspective. In your energies in general... you have the Ace of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the High Priestess. I do feel that there are some things kind of going on behind the scenes in your life that, these are just things where it's almost like structure is being added to your life. In the row of kind of what's going on behind the scenes, you have the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. It's like sometimes I think we have to go through a certain, series of events before we have something that we want. Like if we're building a business, for example, it's like maybe we think we want, one type of business, but when we go through it, we figure out that we actually want something else. And I hope that makes sense. I feel like you could be going through something and maybe it feels frustrating in the moment, right? Because maybe things aren't working out in your ideas or your plans, or you think they should be working out, but it's actually leading to something else. I kind of get that for you. So I would keep pushing with this energy for sure. I wouldn't give up, and I would definitely trust your intuition as well. You also have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands, you have a lot of this Wands energy. Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, King of Wands, pretty much everyone does. Number one, in the 2022 readings, I said that fortune favors the bold. I think this is true for pretty much everyone, that if you're bold, assertive, and you really go for things, you're going to be successful. So I feel that, but I would also say that there's clearly a very strong focus on your desires. There's a difference between kind of wanting something, but truly desiring it on a very deep level. It's like we all want money, right? For example. And so we get a job, and it's like maybe we're not in love with the job, but it's a job, it pays us money. And so we kind of get something we want, and we kind of want it. But do we desire it? I would say no, there isn't that deep burning desire. King of Wands is deep burning desire. It's much, much deeper than just wanting to do something, right? The problem is that I think we think backwards, but maybe we need to think backwards the other way. And what do I mean? I feel like we need to start with the desire and start building around that. And that's what this reading is kind of saying. Like maybe, but the problem is, again, we think like money first instead of desire first, right? And we don't realize that the desire is actually the thing that will bring us more money. But it's like maybe if you desire to, start a worm farm I always joke about this. Maybe you think there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to make a living with my worm farm, or whatever your crazy idea is, whatever you truly desire to do, whatever that deep burning desire is, right? And so maybe you think there is no money, but if you actually think desire first, I desire to do this, so I'm going to do it, then you're going to feel fulfilled. Because you're feeling more fulfilled, you're going to attract more money, and then you're going to be making more money than a job ever could make you, right? And I kind of feel like that's what's going on here. Maybe that's what's leading to some frustration as well. You have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is your emotions overflowing, feeling really happy. It's also what your heart wants you to do. And again, all my readings have been very focused on the heart. I think that this makes perfect sense with a lot of the astrology, is that the astrology, again, I literally just did a podcast with the Leo King about this. It's like, the astrology, as far as I'm concerned, is like saying, if you're doing things that aren't heart-based, if you're doing things that you don't truly desire, then you're not going to be as successful as you could be. If you did things that were kind of required bravery and confidence and required you to be bold and assertive. And it's like all these things have to happen because I think the universe, as I've said a million times in the past, is trying to get us to all be our own little star, to kind of shine our light and inspire other people. The more people that do that, it's going to create a positive snowball for more people. And then hopefully we can kind of create a lot of positivity here. With the Ace of Cups, you have the moon. Exactly like I said, like not sure. I don't know why this isn't focusing today, but I don't know, Mercury retrograde, right? With the moon, I feel like how you're going to get there could be a little bit of a mystery. The moon, you can see that there's this path that goes to some mountains in the background. And as I always say, the moon does not say stop. The moon says keep going. You have to see something through all the way to the end to be successful. So I feel like you have to see something through all the way to the end here. With the Page of Wands, you have the Three of Swords. Some of you could be thinking about a breakup, or you could be dealing with a breakup in some area of your life. And, I feel for some of you, you're just kind of like moving on from it. I don't know. It seems like everybody is dealing with some sort of separation, but it also seems to me that everybody's moving away from it. It's almost not worth mentioning. With the High Priestess, you have the King of Cups. Definitely could be love in your life for sure. So if you're looking for love, let me look over here. I guess not. If you're looking for love, could be love coming in for you. Again, it makes perfect sense to me that a couple of signs have had the King of Cups. I do think that the King of Cups energy could be very attractive right now, again, based off the astrology. Someone who's very emotionally stable, someone who's also an explorer as well, someone who has very deep feelings, deep emotions, again, deep burning desire, that like deep passion. So you could be attracting a person who's very passionate about something that they do. Is covering my eyes working here, Libra? I have no clue. But anyway, I feel that this could be a person coming in for you. It doesn't have to be a water sign. I feel like that's just kind of describing the person. Next, in the area of the unexpected or anything that could be happening behind the scenes, you have this mask card right here. And I don't think that this is saying, look, I can't even get it to focus. I don't think it's talking about someone wearing a mask. It could for some of you, but I really feel that this is asking you what is beneath the mask. I'm almost seeing, I don't know if you've ever seen one of those like magicians who is like switches masks very quickly. It's kind of like an old, famous magic trick where there be a magician who can like change masks very, very quickly. Then you're like, where does this guy get all these masks, right? And that's popping into my head. I don't know if you've ever seen that, Libra, but I kind of get these mask changing things. I feel like you've worn a lot of masks, and I'm not saying that you've hidden behind these things. I feel like you've just been maybe kind of trying on being a different type of person from time to time and really exploring who you are. Again, this isn't like a hidden thing or to be secretive. Again, I feel like sometimes people take this the wrong way. I feel that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to reinvent ourselves. We are meant to kind of figure out who we truly are. And I kind of feel you're starting to discover that, but it's still kind of beneath the surface. You have the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. I get a major, major focus on structure here. And what I mean by structure is like, what would make you feel secure? I am not getting any of the traditional meanings on the Knight of Pentacles right here. I'm getting just like structure, what would make you feel secure, what type of life would make you feel more secure. This seems to be a major focus for you maybe. And the Knight of Pentacles does have a lot to do with work. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be very focused on work, career, on what you're creating in your life in general. Could also be like your daily routine. So if you currently don't like your daily routine, you could be kind of maybe feeling out of whack. Maybe you don't know why you feel out of whack, like me, right, lately. And I would say that maybe just something needs to change in your daily routine so that you have more energy or so that you feel more fulfilled or something like that. And I'm kind of getting that here. I feel that this is part of it. Again, Ace of Wands is that deep burning desire. It is that, kind of feeling very motivated, feeling very excited. Ace of Wands is that thing that, makes you wake up in the morning early, right? That you're excited to go work on. Could be a project, could be a business, could be a person in your life that just excites you. So I always think of the Ace of Wands as something that is very exciting. And what I would say here is if you don't have this in your life, that this reading is talking about, that's the structure that you could be adding to your life, is discovering what your deep burning, passion and desire is. And I like to remind people as well that, this could be something that's frustrating in your life, right? Your deep burning desire could be something that frustrates you at times, but here's how you know that it's your deep burning desire. Regardless of the frustration, you keep working on it, right? The more frustrated you get, the more you want to work on it. That's how you know it's kind of like a deep burning desire. The Knight of Wands, he moves very quickly towards his desires, the things that he wants to do. He's also like the true builder in the tarot. He really puts work in to build things or to create the things that he wants in his life. He's also kind of open to mysteries, and you have a lot of mystery here. There are these pyramids below him here, and the pyramids in the tarot kind of represent they kind of represent mysteries and mysterious things. So I feel that you are open to mysterious opportunities, and that could be a major focus for you. Where the hell is this going, Libra? That's the question. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Pentacles. I swear that the universe does this on purpose because I can't say Knight and Nine at the same time, right? But Nine of Pentacles is being independent, being successful. Also pre-Empress energy, and look at this. This to me is like glow up vibes right here because you're going from the Nine of Pentacles to the Empress. You're stepping into that creative kind of power. I would say definitely a lot of abundance could be coming in for you, but to me, this looks more like creative energy because you have the Empress, and then right next to it, you have that King of Wands, which is this is work that you're putting into things. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Hangman twice in your reading. So again, maybe you're still kind of discovering what your deep burning desire is. Maybe you don't even know that you can have something that is a deep burning desire that you're kind of working on or working towards. And that's what I feel like you're working towards here with the Hangman. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is about needing to set yourself free. I'm going to stop trying now, but what I would say here is that the Eight of Swords with that Knight of Wands, the Eight of Swords is kind of self-imposed restriction, feeling stuck or feeling like you can't have or do something that you want to have. But the Eight of Swords, she is stuck, but she could easily lean up against those swords and set herself free. It's a card of self-imposed restriction. So she's kind of keeping herself stuck when she could easily set herself free. So for a lot of you, I feel like you need to open up to other ways of doing things. Really, the Eight of Swords is pretty simple. It says we're stuck because we're only looking at one way of doing things. Next, in the area of what are we doing? What's coming to light, what you need to pay attention to. You have this optimism card, and you also have this versatility card. Right next to it, you have the Sphinx card, which says choose your words carefully. That's showing up in the good stuff, so obviously positive. But what I would say is I feel like the more optimistic and obviously that you could be, the better you're going to attract things into your life that are going to lead to a lot more success. This versatility card, I kind of feel with the Knight of Wands, the Eight of Wands, you have the King of Wands, the Empress, the Ace of Wands as well. These are all extremely, extremely kind of creative energies. And you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is the opposite. Eight of Swords is not creative, right? She is not open to creative solutions. Versatility is all about kind of using things in different ways. And again, the solution to the Eight of Swords is coming up with different ways to do things or not only seeing one way of doing things. So I feel like the more you can look at the tools in your life, the techniques, the things that you've learned and see how they can apply to other situations, that's going to be very beneficial for you here. Again, I talk about idea sex all the time. One of my favorite people of all time, James Altucher, he talks about how some of the greatest ideas of all time are just basically two ideas mixed together, right? So I feel for a lot of you, if this is focusing, obviously me mixing together multiple cameras is a terrible idea, Libra, because they don't focus. But what I would say is that if you can mix together ideas, I feel there's going to be kind of like these really genius ideas at this time. You have the Empress, the Eight of Wands, and the Hangman. The Eight of Wands is quick success, but again, I was getting the word socializing here, so I feel if there are any social opportunities for you this month that you could be getting a lot of really good ideas from these social opportunities. It could be for, like, to work together with people. It could be for other forms of success as well, and that's exactly what I'd be doing with the Eight of Wands. I also feel like there could be good news coming in for you. Here you have the Empress. The Empress is about abundance and success, so I feel that there is like abundance and success coming in for you here with the Empress, and love it. But again, I have a much deeper focus on kind of creativity with her. I feel like she wants you to be creative. I'm also getting, she has 12 stars on her crown. It represents the 12 signs of the zodiac, and it kind of says that she has been through every single energy in the zodiac. And what I would say here is that I feel like for some of you, this is saying that you've learned a lot and you need to put that knowledge into action. And here you go. You have the Hangman. The Hangman is a card where he's hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom. He has put himself here so that he can gain enlightenment. But I feel like it's time to kind of start moving right now. And again, I kind of feel if you're feeling that frustrated, like I was talking about at the beginning of the reading, that frustrated, aimless, type of energy. I wouldn't really call it aimless because that's not right. I feel it's more just like wanting to move forward, but not knowing what your next step should be. I feel like kind of looking into mysteries, things that interest you that maybe you don't think interest other people or whatever. That's where the success is. With the Empress, you have the Nine of Cups. So again, clearly a lot of abundance coming in for you. You have the Nine of Cups twice here, Nine of Pentacles. These are also new energies as well. Whenever I see a lot of nines in a reading, it always reminds me of like newness, So I feel for a lot of you, there could just be a lot of new opportunities coming in for you in your life in general. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Ace of Wands. So Ace of Wands twice in your reading. Pretty crazy. Right next to each other as well. Again, I feel those ideas, those kind of like things that get you excited. I really feel you need to capture, as they say, capture lightning in a bottle, right? Capture the momentum. Sometimes I think we come up with a really good idea. We get really excited. We're really high on the idea. Then we come crashing down, right? We start thinking about all the what ifs, all the reasons it wouldn't work. And I would also be careful of your words with that last card. And I wouldn't tell anyone your ideas. Multiple signs have had this. So if you have an idea, do it right away. And, whatever it is. Maybe you have an idea to do a YouTube video. Just go do it. If you maybe have an idea to talk to a person, just go do it. I feel like this is saying just do it, Libra, because if you don't, you're going to start talking yourself out of things. And clearly you need to capture the momentum. And here you go. You have with the Hangman, you have the Seven of Cups. It's funny because I was going to say something about the Seven of Cups. This is my card where you can see he's looking at something, right? And it could be multiple things that he is imagining, but he could also be imagining one thing. He could be imagining one idea, but there are good things and bad things in these cups. So that's what I mean. It's like, we can imagine something, we can think of something that inspires us, Ace of Wands, that kind of gets us moving, gets us out of bed, gets us wanting to be successful. But then if we start thinking about the good things and the bad things, that's when we talk ourselves out of it. And I really feel there's a need for you to not talk yourself out of something with this Seven of Cups, for sure. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Sphinx card. It says, choose your words carefully. So, this is showing up in the good stuff. But again, multiple signs have had cards that really do say, kind of be careful of your words at this time. I would just try to keep it positive. But at the same time, I feel like you'll be manifesting things very quickly. You have the King of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Seven of Wands here. So a lot of Wands energy, clearly. The King of Wands and the Six of Wands is success. So I feel like you could be very successful at this time, very driven, very bold, very assertive, everything we've talked about. I also do feel there could be a fire sign coming in for you if you want love. Although, again, I would say that this is a much bigger picture reading. I don't think this is just a love reading. I feel like there's a lot more going on for you here, Libra. A lot more that's going to lead to a lot more, success, abundance, and just other good stuff in your life. You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is about bathing in an energy, as I always say. It is a card of wishes and wish fulfillment, but we have to be in an energy before we can get this energy first. So, it's kind of like an energy of needing to bathe in abundance, needing to, think abundant thoughts, but also do things that, really, the best thing to do with this is mimic success. If there are people who have things that you want, and you want to live that person's life, right? And we're not talking about exactly copying them, of course, but if there are people who you see as successful or who you look up to, mimicking success is a really good thing to do here with the Nine of Cups. It's like maybe you want to be a millionaire, and maybe you're not a millionaire right now, right? But what are some of the habits, right, that millionaires do? If you embrace their habits, then you're being in their energy, then you're attracting millionaire energy, then you become a millionaire. Obviously not going to happen overnight. I feel like I shouldn't have to explain this, but lately I don't know what's going on, but apparently I do. So same thing with love, right? There are certain things that people who have good relationships do. They have certain habits. What are those habits? And people always say to me, I don't know what those habits are. I'm like, well, there's like a million books, right, about love. And there's like plenty of teachers, I'm sure, out there that teach good love habits, right? Whatever that looks like for you. It's different for all of us. So I would go embrace some of those habits, because Nine of Cups says when you start living in the energy, then you attract it. Finally, you have the Seven of Wands here. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It's kind of funny because I like this energy for you. This is a card of knowing that you're going to be successful getting something over the next 3 months. And I feel like you're much more certain of yourself. And again, a couple people have had messages like this. And I definitely feel it in your reading specifically, where it's almost like your confidence isn't dipping clearly. You have all these Wands cards. I feel like your confidence is only being strengthened, even if, like I said, there are frustrations and delays with that Knight of Wands that I was talking about, where I feel like you're so fired up about something that it doesn't matter. You're just going to find a way. With the King of Wands and the Six of Wands, you have the Three of Pentacles. Teamwork makes the dream work. I don't know why I keep trying to use that camera, but I feel for a lot of you that working together with other people obviously is going to be very helpful. I talk about this a lot, but it's the astrology plus it's the cards. You have a lot of cards of teamwork now, so I would definitely be thinking about that. I feel like you could be getting a raised promotion, or you could be being recognized for work that you do as well, Libra. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Page of Swords. Again, this is showing up in the good stuff. And again, the Page of Swords has been coming up a lot. We have a lot of retrogrades right now at the end of the year. And Page of Swords is like being a detective. It's like looking into things, looking really deeply into like ideas, plans, goals, things that interest you, worm farms, right? Stuff like that. So I would, kind of do your research basically. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Page of Cups. Again, this is showing up in the good stuff. I don't really like it, if I'm being honest, because Seven of Wands to me is a little bit too closed off. There could be love coming in for you. All I would say is, again, not telling you what to do. I don't think tarot should tell you what to do in the first place. But what I would say is, if you want love, I feel like you're going to have to open up to it with that Page of Cups, Seven of Wands. Feels just too closed off to me. We're going to pull 5 main themes for you now, and we are going to see what is going on for you. Your first theme for the next 3 months, you have this vulture. It says depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. I would get out of your head. Multiple people have had cards like this right here. I'm going to show you right now, where, thinking that people are against you and all this other stuff. So I would be very, very careful of, kind of assuming what is going on around you. I don't know what's going on. It could just be the retrogrades, right? Where, and like I said, multiple people have had a very similar message about kind of worrying about what people think, or paying too much attention to the competition as well, as what I'm getting here. So if you have a business or whatever, it's like clearly your words are going to be very important. But outside of your words, like if you're paying attention too much to the competition and worrying and comparing yourself to those people, I feel like it's just going to be a waste of energy. So what I would say is, draw the focus back to yourself and what you want. I think when we compare ourselves, you have that mask card, right? And trust me, I'm not criticizing you. I've done this in my own life. When we kind of compare ourselves to other people, we start to put on a mask because we're like, oh, I have to be like this person. So then we're putting on a mask. We're not being authentic. So I think authenticity is the name of the game for you this month. Not just this month, for the next 3 months. Longer, probably, than that. You have this Vines card. It says, seek out information that will help you. Page of Swords, Ace of Wands. We're basically talking about this to kind of look for information. Hangman twice. I feel for a lot of you, that's just research. So I would be doing your research on anything that captures your attention with the Ace of Wands. I mean, are you kidding me? By the way, you have this Tulip card. It says great passion. Great passion, deep burning desire. I mean, we were basically talking about the same thing. So whatever you are finding that you are passionate about, I would dive deep into whatever that is. To me, it could be like a study, like an area of study, something that you want to learn more about. It could be a business. It could be a person, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But I kind of feel this deep burning desire going on here. Next, you have this pineapple card. It says reconciliation. This, I don't really see that in the reading. Again, I don't do X-back readings for a reason. You know, obviously, if you want to take your X back, go for it. I'm not here to tell you what to do, like I said, but, you know, I just don't see it in the reading, plain and simple, right? So I'm not going to like say that I do when I don't. But what I would say is I feel like some of you definitely could be getting something back, but it feels like money. To me, the word reconciliation could be like the universe is reconciling. Like we talk about reconciliation with debt, for example. It's like maybe someone owes you money. They could be reconciling their debt. I kind of get that energy here. So if you're like owed something, I do feel something could be coming back for you. I'm also getting something about karma as well. So you could be seeing someone get their karma. Next, you have this fan card. It says romance, celebration, or party. We see a lot of celebration energy in this reading. Community. You have the Eight of Wands. You know, these are all really good cards for celebrating, socializing, spending time with people. So those are all things that I would definitely do if I were you, Libra. But let's dig into this and let's see what is going on for you at this time. Actually, no, we're pulling 3 yes or no question cards now. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 right here. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your questions. 1, 2, 3. For question number 1, I would say yes with this. It's 12-12, by the way, right now. But I would say yes with the Hierophant. I do get like the need to, you know, I almost feel like saying this could be better, whatever you're asking about. But I don't mean, you know, the situation, there's something wrong with the situation you're asking about. I kind of feel like it's saying if you kind of think outside the box, you could turn the situation into something even better than what you're asking about. It's almost as if there's like an icing on the cake, if that makes sense. For question number 2, I would say yes, but it's going to require work. You have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is, you know, hard work. It's kind of focused work as well. And I do feel this energy with that 7 of Cups of distraction. So whatever you're asking about, if you focus on it and put the work in, the answer is yes. Obviously, if you get distracted, the answer is no. For question number 3, I would say hell no. You have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is something being dead, done, over with. I need to fix this camera, but so clearly this camera is about to get the boot in my life. But I would say that no. On question number 3. Thank you for putting up with my craziness today, Libra. I really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you. And this looks really good to me, actually. I feel there's a lot of good stuff. As long as you, again, my only advice to you would be mimic success. And I know that sounds obvious, but sometimes it isn't. So, you know, there you go. But thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your quarter.